Welcome back to White Mountains Today, live in our studio in North Conway. I am joined by A.O. Lucy of the Believe in Books Literacy Foundation. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, thanks for having us.
Getting over here. I'm glad you stayed with us. I know you had to witness that watch and win debacle for the previous break, and you didn't run out the door. You were close. But...
I was close, especially with you, Chris. I would think you'd know your rivers and mountains. And ranges or whatever. Districts, right.
I tried.
District.
Speaking of rivers, let's talk about the theme today is, I guess, mud, right? Mud Bowl is going on, and you guys have an event coming up later in this month that involves lots of mud.
Absolutely.
It also involves lots of other things, rivers and trees and mountains of things. It's the 100-Acre Challenge. So what is the 100-Acre Challenge?
In 2 weeks from today, we will have our 4th annual 100-Acre Challenge, which is actually it's closer to 6K, 20-plus obstacle race. So we're going to have over 20 obstacles. And so this is, we began this as it's a fundraiser for our literacy programs. And, when all the big people were starting to get psyched with the mud runs and the Spartan races and all those, whatever they're called. So we thought, well, we're going to do a homegrown one. And it worked. And people have a great time. So we go out in our 100-Acre Wood, and we use primarily what's there in the ground. So we don't build towers and things like that, man-made. I mean, we got a couple of man-made accoutrements to some of these things, but we basically take logs and mud holes and ponds and brush piles, and we make obstacles for this. So we have had a number of people that have done some of the Spartan races and these other things, and they're like, your race kicked our butt.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, they come back and they're like, wow, this is, and much more fun. That's the biggest thing. We don't have razor wire or electric prods.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, or anything like that. It's all natural stuff, pretty much, and
no. You have to run through a fire pit or anything.
You don't. Yeah, there's no fire or anything, and the mud this year, Chris, is tougher to come by.
It's been
so
dry.
dry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to think we have to import any water, but we've got a couple of mud holes.
Yeah, you can make things happen. There's time between now and
we've got 2 whole weeks to build the whole course. I don't know what the challenge is.
Yeah, September. What's the actual date?
24th. Saturday the 24th.
Yeah, you definitely have the venue for it. I'm sure it's a lot of fun because of that. The 100-Acre Wood in Intervale. Tell us a little bit more about what the proceeds, the funds from the 100-Acre Challenge go to benefit.
Sure. We are a local or a regional local literacy foundation. We do a number of outreach programs. Our main focus is 0 to 6-year-olds, although we do a bunch of other programs. So we try to focus on programs that are getting people excited, getting youngsters excited about reading, and bringing books to life. That's really, we're not so much booksellers or focused on books per se. What we want to do is get the blood flowing in youngsters' brain. So we're big on exercise for the mind and body.
Yep.
So during our 100-Acre Challenge, by the way, we have a kids race. We have 2-level kids races. So every race we do that are fundraisers, last weekend it was the fun run at Storyland, we always have kids levels. I mean, right from 0 to 12 are usually the kids levels. So we have tots out there. And so we have a mini acre challenge on the property that runs first, and they have a blast.
Yeah, I think I was at the Storyland Fun Run last week, and I think there may have been some adults, posed as kids just for the opportunity to run through Storyland. So if you didn't get your chance to do it, the 100-Acre Challenge
will happen for some reason. I don't know why parents are so nervous with their 2 or 3-year-old, going through a mud pit. I don't know what the problem is.
There is no problem. They just want to run the course.
I think that adults who aren't quite up to running the big kids race, feel if they get their feet a little muddy or, have to climb over a hay bale, then they feel like they've they've done their duty.
All right. Now, you mentioned people who have done some of the big Spartan races and things like that say, well, this is a great course. It kicked our butt. But in watching the video, I see lots of people from all abilities doing this race. It seems like it's kind of just a fun thing to do with some friends.
It's fun. I mean, there are a few people that are semi-serious. The Mount Washington Valley Hogs, by the way,
really
have
the Mud Bowl team
in there, yeah, and they have a team almost every year, team of 4. So most of the racers are in teams.
Okay.
But a lot of families, do it, and pairs. You can have a team of 2 or a team of 4, or go solo if you're so inclined.
Yep.
If you're really serious about it. But yeah, there's, in fact, last year we had a multi-generational, I think 3 generations in one family that did it. So I don't know, that may happen again this year.
Now, if you do it as a team, how does that work? Do you all race at the same time? Do you tag off, or how does that work?
Everybody goes at the same time. So there's enough racers, entrants, so we go off in heats so that we're not too bunched up. And so a team goes together. And so the team's time, by the way, this is officially timed with,
chips and things?
Chips and things
wow.
like that. Oh, yeah, this is big time, Chris. And, there's no fooling around. And so if you go with a team, the slowest person in is when the clock clicks.
Well.
So
you've got to drag people.
You got to drag people along
through the mud.
And, if it's over a wall or through a mud pit, you got to wait for your team member and make sure that they haven't, succumbed someplace along the way.
All right, so start training now. I don't know how you train for this race. You're going to have to just go in the woods and try to survive, climb trees.
No, I think you just have to I think it's mostly mental.
Yeah.
You have to survive the thrash of the day.
That sounds like our director, Hans, in the back. He's mostly mental.
He's mostly mental.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do people register for this race?
So you can still register online, believeinbooks.org, and then you'll go to the challenge page. This, by the way, is last year's colors. Every year we change our colors. So I didn't want to bring this year's colors out because it's a surprise.
Oh, nice.
See?
So you'll be surprised at the event.
You'll be surprised
at
the event. Everybody gets a T-shirt. We have some great prizes, by the way, and some awesome supporters of this event. Too numerous for me to mention right now, but a couple of them are great. One of them, actually, I will mention because it's breakfast time, and Sarah's Yesterday's Restaurant in Jackson is a big supporter and has been, so that's awesome.
Best breakfast in the valley.
So I hate to just pick out one, but
now how does she sponsor you? Does she actually provide blackberry pancakes on site with maple syrup?
She doesn't, and I guess I have to talk to her about that.
Yeah, because before
and
a race,
she also is not a racer herself, which I should talk to her about.
Because she's tough.
She is tough.
I've seen her go to the gym.
I've got a feeling after saying this live, it'll be tougher.
Sarah, get to the race. The challenge is out there. The gauntlet is thrown. Have we missed anything?
I don't think so, other than just our literacy programs are great, and they cover a bunch. One of our outreach programs, which we're about to take off on, we go to over 60 preschools and Head Start programs in the North Country, covering about 3 counties in northern New Hampshire, a little bit of Maine, and that's really our more significant one. And we visit with storybook characters, are a big deal for us, so we get life-size characters. And actually, there'll be a couple at the 100 Acre Challenge.
Excellent. So bring your cameras.
I'm not sure who's going to be there, but there's always somebody coming out of the 100 Acre Woods.
You never know. Ada Lucy from the Believe in Books Literacy Foundation, thank you so much for joining us, doing such a great job here in the Valley, helping kids discover the magic of books and helping make life fun for the rest of us.
Absolutely. Bring books to life.
Crawling through mud, jumping over, I don't know, things.
2 weeks.
No razor blades, though.
In 2 weeks, no razor blades. So, you get a few skinned knees and, scrapes and scratches, but nothing too terrible.
A good time. Head to believeinbooks.org, register now, and we'll see you at the 100 Acre